Hello guys, this is Asharam and in this video I'll discuss the solution of Shandef problem of CodeChef April Long Challenge 2020. So in this problem you are given a function f of x comma y comma z which computes the product of end of x with z and end of y with z. Okay, so now you are given x comma y and you have to choose a z in the range L and R such that f x comma y comma z is maximum, and if there are multiple z which satisfies this condition, then you have to choose the smallest one in the range. Okay, so let's see some examples. So suppose that x equal to 7, y equal to 12, L equal to 4, R equal to 17. So now binary representation of 7 is what? 0, 1, 1, 1, and for 12 it is 1, 1, 0, 0. Now if you choose z equal to 15, then it is in the range L comma R, and binary representation of 15 is 1, 1, 1, 1. So x and z will be, as you can see, it will be 7, and y and z will be 12. So our product is 84, and this is the maximum product we can get because x and z is less than equal to minimum of x and z, so it will always be less than equal to x. Okay, so and similarly this expression will be less than equal to y, so maximum product you can get is 84, that is x into y. So maximum product is you can get is x into y. So hence our answer is z equal to 15 for this question. Okay, and now if you choose x is, let's say 4, let's say 1, and you choose y is, let's say 4, L is, let's say 0, and R is, let's say 100. So now it is just 1, binary representation is 1, and its binary representation is 100. So now if you choose L equal to z equal to 5, then you will get product as 4 because 1 and 5 is 1, 4 and 5 is 4, so product is 4, and this is the maximum product we can get. Similarly, now you can choose z equal to 13, or you can choose z equal to, let's say 7. So as you can see, we can choose multiple z, but we have to take minimum of them, all of them. Okay, so which is z equal to 5. So this is our answer. Okay, so let's see how we can solve this problem. Now your first subtask. So we'll solve the first subtask because there is an important result in the subtask that we will use to solve our main subtask. Okay, our general subtask. So in first subtask you have L0 and R greater than equal to 2 into max of x comma y. So now I'll assume that y is always greater than x. If it is not greater than x, then we will swap x comma y. Okay, so R is greater than equal to 2 into y. So what it means by this statement that R is greater than equal to 2 into y? Suppose that our y is 100, so 2 into y is 10. Okay, let me erase that. So 2 into y will be 100, that is we have shifted all the bits of y 1 unit to the left, Okay, so if our most significant bit of y was, here it is 2, so 0, 1, second bit. Okay, if it was 2, then in 2 into y it will be MSV of 2 into y is 3. So you can see that MSB of R is greater than equal to MSB of Y plus 1. Okay, because you can take R as 1 0 0 0 0. So in that case MSB of R will be 4 and here it is only 2. Okay, so this is an important relation that, so okay, it means R greater than equal to 2 into Y means that MSB of R is this. Okay, so now our Y is always greater than X as I have told you, and L is always less than R. So here L is 0 and we have to choose Z between L and R such that the product of end is maximum. So let's construct that Z. Okay, we'll construct that Z. So let's say MSB of Y is, okay, we'll take this example only. We'll take this example only for that. So our Y is 0 1 0 and our X is some number less than Y. So what is some number less than Y? So it will be 0 1 1. Okay, so now our Z can be between 0 and between, I'll take R equal to 2 into Y, that is this. So our Z should be in this range. So okay, so our Z is between this range and now we'll construct our Z. So now let's say MSB of Z is equal to MSB of R, most significant bit. Okay, so MSB of R is, as you can see, is 3, so which means Z equal to 1 here. So now if you take end of Y with 1, then we'll get 0, and if you take end of this bit, that is third bit of X with third bit of Z, then we'll get 0. So there is no point in taking MSB of Z equal to MSB of R because all those bits are 0 here. Okay, because MSB of Y is less than MSB of R as I have told you. So there is no point in setting MSB of Z equal to MSB of R. Okay, so if we don't take MSB of Z equal to MSB of R, then we'll take it 0. Okay, so now our Z is 1 0 0, sorry, our R is this, and we have taken Z, we have taken third bit of Z to be 0. So now even if we set all those bits to 1, then our Z will be in the range 0 comma Z, sorry, 0 comma R. Okay, wait. So even if we set all those bits to 1, then our Z will be in the range 0 comma R. So okay, so we'll set all the bits to 1, and then you can see that Y and Z will be Y and X and Z will be X, and our product will be X into Y. Okay, so and this will give us correct result. But there can be another case like this, that is 0 1 0 0 1 and X is 0 and this is 0 1 0 1 and our R is, let's say, again 1 0 0 0. So now there, as I've told you, there is no point in setting MSB of Z equal to MSB of R. Okay, so we'll set it to 0. Now if we set all those bits to, all the remaining bits to 1, then our Z is in the correct range, that is 0 comma R. Okay, and we'll get X and Z equal to X and Y and Z equal to Y. But as you can see that there is no point in setting this bit 1 because this is 0, so they'll result in 0 0 and this is 0, so end of both of them will be 0, both of them will be 0. Okay, So there is no point in setting this bit. So we are setting the bit ith bit in z if and only if ith bit in y or ith bit in x is 1, at least one of them is 1. So we need to set them then only. Okay, so if we don't set this bit, then we'll get here 0 and our z will be 1 1 0 1, and again we are getting the same result. So this is the minimum z. So as clearly you can see that z equal to x or y, because we are setting the bit ith bit in z if and only if at least one of the bits of x and y is 1. So which means that z equal to x or y. Okay, so remember this result and this thing that if we don't choose MSB of R equal to MSB of Z, so then we'll set this to 0, then we can set all the bits to 1 and our Z will be in the correct range. Okay, so now let's see the general solution for this problem. Okay, so now there is one more thing. Suppose suppose that y is like this 1 1 0 0 0 1, and suppose r is like this, that is r is smaller than this. So you can see that MSB of y is what, 4 and 3, so it will be 6 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, sorry it will be 7. Okay, it is 6 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, and MSB of R is, you can see that it is only 4. So we don't need to worry about these bits of y, because we cannot affect them in any way, because these bits will in z, these bits will be always be 1 and they'll always result in 0 final, that is x, y and z will always result in 0. So there is no point in worrying about these bits. So we'll worry about the bits from 0 to MSB of R only. Okay, and now if number of bits in y is okay, and we have already considered the case MSB of R greater than MSB of y, so we don't need to include that case. And so now we'll consider the case MSB of R equal to MSB of y. So now our y can look like something like this, our x can look like this. Let me erase them. And our r can look like something like this, and our l can look like 0 0 1 0 0 0 0. So let me another page. So now you can see that MSB of, in this case MSB of L is less than MS, that is they are not equal, they are not equal. MSB of L is not equal to MSB of R. So now this we can divide it into 3 cases. So we can have 3 values or different values of z, that is, one is MSB of z equal to MSB of R, then we can have some solution, and then MSB of z is less than MSB of R, and MSB of z is greater than MSB of L, and another case can be MSB of z equal to MSB of R. So you can confirm, L. So you can confirm that z will be one of these 3 different cases. So z will be one of these 3 different cases. So now we can solve this problem for these 3 cases, and then we'll get the correct result. Okay, and then we can take the z which is giving us maximum product. Okay, so we have to choose z for them. So now most simple case of them is of these three are this second case, because in second case, so in second case we have to set one of these bits as 1, that is the bits between MSB of R and bits between MSB of L. So if we set them 1, okay, so you can see that this is 1. So clearly, since MSB of Z is greater than MSB of L, so our Z is greater than L, and since MSB of Z is less than MSB of R, so our Z is less than R, so our Z is in the range, correct range. So now we can simply take OR of all these remaining bits. So we can simply take OR of these remaining bits and we'll get our result. So, and now you might say that suppose R is like this and L is like this, L is like this. So now you can choose MSB to be this, or you can choose MSB to be this. So we don't need to worry about that. We'll simply take OR of X and Y from this bit, so from this bit to end of this bit. Okay, so we'll take X or Y and from this bit to this bit, so it will be 0, first bit is 0, then we'll take OR from these bits. Okay, so now if MSB of X or Y is something like here, that is it is less than L, then our Z is less than L, so we can't allow that. So we'll simply add an another bit here, that is just greater than L. Okay, so then we'll get our value of Z equal to X or Y in satisfying this condition and our condition in the problem statement. Okay, so this is our first case, that is we have to set MSB of Z less than R and MSB of Z greater than L. So it is quite simple. And now another case can be when we set MSB of Z equal to MSB of L, that is this. So even this case is simple. So our R is something like this and our L is something like 0, 1, 0, 0, that is our MSB of L is less than R and something like this. So what we'll do is we'll set MSB of Z equal to MSB of L. So okay, we have set this. Okay, we are done with it. Done with this. Now what we'll do is we'll take OR of X and Y from this bit to end of this bit, and we'll get some number like this. Okay, now if it is greater than L, then it is fine, because it is greater than L and less than R already, because MSB of Z is less than MSB of R, so then it is fine. But if it is less than, Z is still less than L, then we have to do something. So what we'll do is, I'll take an example. Suppose L is 1 0 1 0 1 0, and suppose our Z comes out to be, so we have to set MSB of Z equal to L. Then we take XOR of X and Y from this bit to this bit. So, and suppose that we get something like this. So you can see that our Z is less than L. So we'll start from this. So if both of them are equal, then we don't need to change the bit in Z. But if this bit in L is 1 and this is not 0, so this bit is the main cause of Z less than L. So we'll set this bit. Okay, so we'll set this bit. So we'll make this bit 1. And now if we encounter a bit such that L is, it is in 0, L the highest bit in L is 0 and Z, the bit in Z is 1, then clearly Z is greater than L. Okay, so what we'll do is our first step. So our first step is to set MSB of Z equal to MSB of L, and then take OR of X and Y from 0 to MSB of L minus 1, and then make Z greater than L. Okay, so these are our first step. These are our 3 steps in this third option. This was our third option, and now our final case is this first case, and it is the most difficult one. So in this case, so suppose our R is something like this, and our L is something like this. So now we have taken MSB of Z equal to MSB of R. So clearly Z is greater than L, so we just need to make Z less than R, and the Z should also satisfy the condition in the question, that is maximize the value of f x comma y comma z. So we'll start constructing. Okay, so Z is 1, initially it is 1, 0 0 0 0 0, all the bits are 0, 3 and 3, so 3 6 8 7. Okay, initially all the bits are 0, so we'll start. Okay, so now we'll move to our first bit. So okay, we'll move here, so they both are 0, so there is no point in, if we increase this bit then it will become greater than R, which we don't want. Okay, so we'll ignore it and move forward. Again they are 0, and so we'll ignore that. Now we encounter a 1. Now we have two choices here, either to set this bit 1. Okay, we set this bit as 1, so then Z equal to still Z. So if we set this bit as 1, so till now Z is equal to R. That is, we can improve this answer further by setting more bits here. Okay, if we set this bit to be 1, then we can improve our answer more. So we'll move forward if we do this. That is, if we set the bit of Z to be 1. Now there is another case. Case 1 is set to the case 1, set the bit to 1, set bit 1 and move forward, because we have option of setting bits more, so we will try to set them and increase our product. And our case 2 is, and there is one more point, if we have to set this bit to 1 if and only if x or y for this bit is 1, giving 1, that is at least one of the bits in x and y is 1. If both of them are 0, then there is no point in setting that bit, and we'll set that to 0. Okay, so now case 2 is set bit to 0, set bit to 0. Now if we set this bit to 0, so this bit in Z is 0, then clearly Z is, so even if we set all these bits to 1, even then our Z will be less than R, because this bit here is set in R and not set in Z. Okay, so this is our same result that we have used initially to solve this problem. That is, I've told you that if we, so I've told you, let me check where it was. So I've told you here that if you ignore, where was it, man? So if you ignore this bit, then you can set all these 4 bits to 1. Even then Z will be less than R. Okay, so we are doing the same thing here. So we have two cases, set a bit to 1 and move forward, don't do anything, and we have to do this only if x or y equal to 1, or set bit to 0, then set all these bits to 1, set all these bits to x or y, we'll take x or y. Okay, and then check the product, and if it is greater than our current product, okay, so then we'll change our Z to this, and then we'll move forward. So if we set this to 1, then we'll move forward, we encounter a 0, we'll continue, we encounter another 1, and we'll repeat this step, that is set width to 1 and move forward, set width to 0 and check the product. So in this way you can solve this first case. Okay, now you might be wondering about this, what if MSV of L is equal to MSV of R? So in that case, second step, you can't use second step and you can't apply first or third step, because if you apply third step, it might be possible that our generated arrays are constructed Z is greater than R, and if we apply first step, then it might be possible that our constructed R is less than L. Okay, constructed Z is less than L. So what should we do? So if MSV of L is equal to MSV of R, then L is something like this, R is something like this, then L is something like this, R is something like this. That is, they are equal to certain bits. That is, the bits in L and R are equal to certain bits, and after that we'll get a R. After that we'll get the bit in R to be 1 and here 0, such that L is greater than R, because L is if R is greater than L, then there will be some bit which is 1 and which is 1 in R and 0 in L. So if these all bits are equal, then we have to include them in Z anyway. Okay, so we have to include them, and then we'll get to this point, and then here it can be something like this. So you can now we'll apply our step 1 2 3 to this portion. So we'll apply our step 1 2 3 to this portion. So we can treat this as that case, MSV of L is less than MSV of R in this way. So now final case is when both L and R are equal, then all the bits in L and R are same, and we don't need to perform any of those steps because our answer Z will be equal to L. Okay, so yeah, this is our algorithm for this problem, and let me repeat what we have done in this video. Okay, in this solution, so what we have done is we have taken the first case, that is MSV of L is less than MSV of R, and then we have performed our 3 steps, that is MSV of Z equal to MSV of R, and then MSV of Z is between MSV of R and MSV of L, and then MSV of Z equal to MSV of R. Then we have modified our MSV of L equal to MSV of R case to this case by doing this, and then we have repeated these 3 steps. Then there is final case of L equal to R. Okay, and yeah, that's it guys for now. I hope I was able to explain the solution properly and you were able to understand it, but I don't think I was able to explain it in a nice manner. It is quite messy, and if it was good if you understand this solution. So yeah, that's it guys for now. Thank you.